In this video, I'm going to use WordPress's tagging capability to create content clusters around specific topics, linking blogs that have topics in common with one another to help establish some topical authority for the posts that we have on this website, as well as potentially even help people to better navigate this website. So let's jump in. When we inherit websites from clients, very often they don't understand what tags and categories are supposed to be used for, and they very often end up creating hundreds, if not thousands, of unnecessary archives by misusing the tagging in WordPress. So in this video, I'm actually going to be cleaning this up on a website that we have for a client, where we're going to identify what are these blogs about? What do they have in common? In what way can we potentially link them to one another? And how are we going to get the website then to link to the archives for each one of these categories so that we can create these topical clusters for these articles and hopefully help them to rank. So just as a side note, I'm of the impression that a lot of the recent updates that we've had with Google's core algorithm over, let's say, the last 2 years have really been looking at topical authority, the expertise of the people writing the content on these websites. And I've found that our clients' websites that have good internal linking, where articles that are indeed highly relevant to one another are linking to one another, those websites are doing pretty well through each one of these algorithm updates. So hopefully this is going to help our client, and if you implement this on your website, it's going to help you too. Often people, more times than not, our clients, and often people that are even in SEO, don't even really understand a good reason to use archives. They don't, in and of themselves, they're not a direct ranking factor. So just by putting a keyword tag or category on something is not really going to have any sort of direct impact on the search results. But it can have a search results impact by helping us to automate the whole linking together of topics. So in this case, we have a very common thing has happened with this client, where we've just over time, I don't know if it was us, I don't know if it was them, but we have 156 tags that have been added to Boon Swang Law, and this is not how tags are used. What we need to do is come up with a taxonomy where we're going to be able to create archives so that all of the related articles can link to one another and thus create clusters around a specific topic. So if we wanted to do something along the lines of, like, let's say life insurance claim denials, we can have all of those linked together. If we wanted to cluster all of the articles together that talk specifically about specific states, like New York, for example, we can get all of those to cluster together. In the case of the way that we've implemented this on Saga Pixel, I've done it by industry. If I go to this TikTok for plastic surgery page, I'm not looking at the bottom, if I go to the related posts, these are not other articles about social media. I actually have them put together by industry. So all of these are related to cosmetic surgery in some way. We have a tag in there that says plastic surgery. We have another one that says healthcare. We have another one that says legal. Our tags are organized by industry. In this case, I'm going to organize these. First of all, I'm going to delete all of these, because there's absolutely no point of ever having a count of one when it comes to a tag, because the whole point of putting the tags is so that we can cluster things together. What may make sense is to do an AARP cluster, but we're not even doing that. So I'm going to be deleting all of these, and then I'm pausing this video, and when I start it back up, we're going to be going in to actually create a taxonomy, a tag taxonomy system that makes sense. Okay, so I went into the posts and I entered a keyword that I know is a topic that comes up often when it comes to life insurance issues, and I just entered suicide. And I see that there's a whole bunch of posts that mention suicide. So in this case, I'm going to create a tag for life insurance. Let's do life insurance claims and suicide. So that's going to be the name of the tag. The next thing I'm going to do is add a slug. I want to keep this really simple. So in this case, I just did suicide. New tab. All right, or new tag. So I'm going to create a few more of these and then move on to the next step. All right, so starting this back up, I actually made a change to the tag that I had placed before. Initially, I had created one for life insurance and suicide, but then I realized that that really is more related to the overarching theme of cause of death denials. In other words, people or a claim was denied because of the way that the person died. On suicide would fall under that. So I've kept this simple, and we typically want to keep this as simple as possible. We may over time say, like, you know what, it probably makes sense for us to create another archive of these, but like right now we're running a series, we're producing a series of cause of death denial pieces. So we're going to go through the posts and tag all the ones that talk about this topic. And the reason is we're going to be automating the process of interlinking articles that are related to one another to create a cluster, but that are not already linking to one another. All right, so I guess the next step, not exactly the last step, is we want to make sure, I have to move this out of the way, we have to make sure that we are, if we're going to do this, we want to make sure that the archives are set maybe to no index, but do follow. Because what I don't want is this. If we're going to let's go to a blog post on the website. So we're going to have this interlinking going on like in the footer here between the tabs. What I don't want to have happen is that we're linking to an archive page right here. When we go to this archive page, what I don't want to have happen is that Google is not crawling those archives and not following the links, because the whole purpose of doing this in the first place is to get all of these websites to link to one another. So if we go into the Yoast section, we go to search appearance, and we're going to go over to in the Yoast SEO plugin, you go over to taxonomies, and we'll see that right here we have the categories set to not link to no index. So I'm going to leave it like that because we're not really using the categories as an interlinking system here, but we are going to be doing the tags. So we're going to go over here, and the tag, these archives that I just created, they're all no indexed right now. I'm going to change that, and we are now going to index the tags. So the whole point now is that Google's going to take these indexes, these posts, they're going to put it into the index, and it's going to start counting these links that are getting passed through all of these articles. And I'll show you an example in a second. Okay, so to get these things actually showing in the first place, I'm going to go over here and tag all of these with the whole cause of death. So if I type cause of death denials, update. All right, I've saved all of those, but I don't know if that's actually configured properly yet. Yeah, so cause of death denials, if I click here, this is going to take me over to an archive of all of the articles that talk about cause of death denials. And what's now happening is this article is linking to this page, which includes links to all of the other pages, including links to these other some of these other articles that we're talking about that are tagged with the same thing. So, you know, was your claim denied to drug overdose or alcohol poisoning? What is an AD&D policy? Because this one also mentions cause of death denials. So hopefully you get this whole idea. The purpose of taxonomy is to be able to link content and organize content. The purpose of it is not to sprinkle magic keyword fairy dust on it and help that singular page to rank.